And so today we are here at the Swanzey Recycling Center, and this didn't always recycle.
Yeah, nope.
No, we have a history.
Yep.
As do a lot of towns. And at one time, this was the dump. And if we were in the dump, we probably would have been down a few feet.
Yeah, more than a few.
Okay. So from what I understand, people used to stop by and just toss their trash in. No recycling back then, but that was in like the 70s.
Yeah.
You know, 70s been before.
Before, yeah.
Right. So people needed a place to bring their trash, and so that's what they did. So you said that your grandfather remembers coming to the dump.
Yep. In the late 30s, early 40s. Yep.
Yeah.
Tossing over the edge, and that was it.
Yeah.
There was nothing else to it.
Done. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Yeah.
So today what we're going to talk about a little bit more is what we do with our recycling, how we make the most out of our recycling so that it's beneficial to recycle, but also that we can help the town of Swanzey with some revenue a little bit as well.
Offset some costs, yes.
Right, right. So we're focusing on the outside in this portion of the program, but there's a lot that goes on in the inside as well, and we'll talk about that on another program.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So let's start here. Now you have these dumpsters that are through Waste Management.
Yep. Yep.
And those are filled up. How long does it take on average to fill one of those things?
Wintertime, we'll probably send out about 12 tons or one container a week, and then summertime we can do anything from 10 to 20 tons a week or 2 containers.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
And just trash.
Is that because people don't like to go out in the winter, or is it because there's just more trash, or what do you think?
We lose some of the residents to the going to Florida, out-of-staters. People who have summer homes up here, they'll leave, and then we have like the campgrounds, nobody there, so we lose a good chunk of trash and recycling during the winter time. So
how do you think people do on their recycling? Are they doing a good job on recycling, or could they do better?
That's a hard one, because I'd say probably 90% of the town goes above and beyond to help us out. Making sure that their bottles are clean, no caps, no food left over, and doing that will give us a better opportunity to be able to market it a little better. So
when they bring their products here, what happens? Do you have people that are actually going to look at them? Because I've seen before on your sign, it says that they will look in your bag. And that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
But do you go through some of the trash sometimes, or how do you regulate that?
Typically, especially summertime when it gets busy, we'll stand out here and just help people out, even if it's just taking a bag and throwing it in, helping somebody. But you can tell if there's cardboard, plastics. Obviously the plastics are lighter, so it's not going to be as much of a cost compared to glass going in there, but every little pound counts, especially at $77 a ton.
Wow.
So you don't want to throw...
So you have to pay for product to be, like the stuff that goes into these bins here.
Yes.
You have to pay for that to be disposed of.
Yep.
Okay, so that's something to think about, because if you can recycle, you don't have to put that in there, and we don't have to pay for our trash.
Yes.
We might be able to get some revenue from it instead.
Yeah.
Right.
And put that into perspective, last year, 2018, we shipped out 430 tons of trash, or 430 tons of recyclables, which equals out to about $35,000 we've offset from having to keep it out of here.
Wow.
And we made some money off it, so it kind of offsets itself a little bit.
Yeah, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to keep everything we can out of these.
Right. So this is the trash, but what are some of the other areas that you have around here? And we'll go around a little bit later, or we'll show you some of this as we're talking as well anyway. But you have cardboard.
Yep.
Okay, keep going, because I don't know all of them. Newspaper.
Yes.
And is newspaper, all the same?
That actually changed with the whole China waste ban starting last year. It used to be we just do straight mixed paper. That was it. We could ship it out whenever we wanted to. And now we've kind of had a little bit of a nudge to separate out a little more. Started out last spring, they were charging about $80 to $90 a ton just to get rid of the mixed paper. And so what we've been doing over the past year was separating out what we could to try and take out some of the mixed paper and be able to make some money on it. So we've gone from just one paper grade to sorted office paper, which can hit $155 a ton profit, newspaper, which is about $60, and then magazines, which are about $60 a ton. So
So it really can make a huge difference.
And just from hand sorting in there as it's coming through, we were able to take out 35 tons last year, which would have been a cost of thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah. So why don't people just burn it?
You can't.
I'm just asking.
Yeah. Well, you really, because of the DS EPA, you're not supposed to be able to burn trash or newspaper. People started with their wood stoves with it, so that's kind of a different story. But magazines, any other paper, you don't really want to burn that, especially in a wood stove, because then you get all the soot and all the chemicals in there, and that could blow back into the house and just really cause a bunch of problems.
And there's a
for
lot
you.
of toxins in a lot of that stuff.
And nothing you really
I mean, I
want
think
to
that they
breathe.
use soy when they do newspapers, you know, for the print, but you never know what's going to be in the magazines. And,
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
sometimes they have those little
wax
smelly,
coating.
perfumey things
Yeah,
too, and you never know.
You just don't know.
Yeah. So, okay, so cardboard, papers, the different kinds of papers, aluminum cans.
Yes. Yep.
Now, how do you tell that a can is aluminum?
Typically,
Are they all aluminum now?
they are, yeah. The only ones you really see is maybe the protein shakes, which are the steel cans, and beyond that, we never really see.
So what is a steel can? Garbage?
Steel can, we have a bin for it over
bin
there.
for
Yep.
steel cans.
Yep.
Okay, so I would say you probably have a bin for just about everything.
Everything, and
So
if we don't, it shouldn't be here.
How much, right? So how many bags should a typical house have? Like, say you have 4 people in your household.
That could be
One bag?
That could be tricky because if you have toddlers or you have
Right.
younger kids,
Right.
you're gonna have the diapers,
Yeah.
juice boxes,
Right.
Capri Suns, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Typically, normal house will see maybe once a week, and they'll bring maybe 2 trash barrels full,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. 'Cause I
5 to
think
6 bags.
With my family, we only have 2 people in our family. We have like 1 bag at the most
and
every
that,
week.
and that all falls
that's
back
it.
to what you're buying too, and if you're using everything you're buying.
Right.
And that's where the waste end of it comes through, and
Yeah.
it really starts right there.
Yeah. Now you guys don't do composting for like food scraps or anything, do that? Or you do that too? Or?
No, we don't
Okay,
yet.
cool.
And the
But that's-
DES is working towards that. So.
Yeah, but that's something that you can be doing at home. So you should all have a compost pile. I don't care
Yes.
what it is.
Yep.
A lot of people out there have chickens. So like in my case, I have chickens. If it doesn't go to the chickens, it goes in my compost if
Yep.
it's compostable. And then it means that you have very little trash. So that means, again, that Swanzey doesn't have to pay for your trash to go and get shipped out of here.
Exactly, yes.
Okay. So we have glass, and what else? Oh, we have a battery shed.
Yep.
So you don't just put your batteries in the trash?
Regular batteries, Duracells and whatnot, after 1994, I believe, do not contain mercury anymore, so those can go into the solid waste stream. Rechargeable batteries we send with the Call to Recycle program, which is free to dispose of, and anything rechargeable, you just bag single batteries because you don't want them touching to spark or cause a fire. Yeah.
Have you ever had a fire?
No, we
Oh,
haven't.
cute. That's
but
great.
There's been in the news, UPS has been carrying packages and the batteries
Oh,
touch
right.
fire right there.
Yeah.
And
So
we
what about
ship
the big
about
batteries? You know, like the car batteries and
lead
the
acids? Yeah, we send those as scrap, and we actually get, each pallet's about 800-900 pounds, and we'll probably get $20-30 for the pallet.
So you get paid for those too.
Yes,
So
yep.
that's a good thing that you're
Offsets
collecting
some more
those.
costs,
right,
yes.
right. And environmentally. You know, if somebody was to just put that in their backyard.
Get the
or-
acid, it'll leach
Yeah.
into the ground.
Right.
Could lead to groundwater or your well.
Right.
So a lot
Yeah.
of health hazards with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So let's see, what else do we have? You have like doors and windows.
Yeah.
And you have a recycle pile, or what do you call it? The area where you've got
Swap shop.
Yes. So they have a swap shop. I have to say, about a month ago, I got a really nice piece.
Yep.
It was a wooden bureau, all wood.
Yep.
So I'm not going to go for any of the pressed stuff.
No, no.
But when somebody brings something, and you see something that is reusable, do you guys encourage people to put it over there, or do they just do it on their own?
We inspect every load that comes through, and typically, unless it's a guaranteed somebody's going to take it, we'll still do the drop-off fee just to cover that end of it.
I think you should, because they're dropping it off.
Exactly.
Anyway,
yeah. So, and I'd say maybe half of the stuff that goes over there gets taken, so
Right.
that's half the cost we
So
have
you
to
give it
worry
a couple
about.
of days, and then if it doesn't get
Yep.
taken, then it goes.
And
so at
I
least you
mean-
give it a chance.
And what's the point in going out and buying a new hose reel when we have one right here?
Seriously.
Or a new bureau,
Right.
nightstand lamp, stuff
Right.
like that what can be used, and
Yeah.
instead of going out and buying something new that will then end up here 10 years later.
Right,
So
right. And I think that's something that we all need to think about, is to be able to reuse. You know, we all think that it's so much easier to just go to the store and
Yeah.
buy something brand new, but how many people have, you know, like a ton of hangers
Yeah.
or a ton of you know, whatever. It's just so much better to come and check it out at the dump. Excuse me, recycling center. I can't get it out of my head. Sorry.
Word.
Yes. But to come to the recycling center so that you can maybe find what you're looking for.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, if people are getting rid of, let's see, sheetrock or things when they've done house repairs, do you have those that are in specific areas as well?
Well, we have the construction bins out back, and that's sheetrock, shingles, and construction wood. And same with that, if we see some good plywood, 2x4s, 6x6s, anything like that, we'll set it aside, and people typically grab those too. So.
Right. And so do you have to pay for that stuff to go?
Yes, it's the same cost as the compactors.
Oh,
so
it is,
$77.25 a ton.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. And then I've seen when people have like Christmas trees. So you have a burn pile. Do you still use the burn pile?
Yep,
I don't know.
we have two burn pits.
Okay. And are those different kinds of product in each one, or you just have two burn pits?
Just same thing.
Same
two
thing.
burn pits.
Okay.
Yeah, all clean wood.
Yep.
Yep.
Good. Well, let's go and take a look at some of the different areas that you have here at the Swanzey Recycling Center. And I hope that you think about doing this yourself, because there are companies out there which do a great job, but you can also bring the products here on your own. And I don't know what it costs to take a bag, but it might be less expensive.
Yeah,
on your own doing it?
Yeah, because there's no charge for using the compactors.
So they can come here for free?
Yep, as long as they're a Swansea resident.
If you're from Swansea, you can come to the recycling center, bring your stuff, and there's no charge, and it's an adventure.
It is.
Yes.
You never know what you'll find.
That's right. That's why I love.
You never know.
I have to tell you, I come to the recycling center with my husband just for the visit. I know it's not exciting for a lot of you out there, but I like it because you never know what somebody's recycling or what you're going to find.
Treasures everywhere.
There are.
One man's trash, another man's treasure.
Exactly, exactly. So thank you, Josh. Let's go and see what we can find.
Definitely.
Yeah. So here we are at the swap pile.
Yes.
And you never know what you can find. There's actually a lawnmower there.
And chances are it works, or it just needs to be tuned up.
Right. Somebody just said, I'm giving up.
Had enough of it. Yeah. Yep.
But if somebody knows what they're doing, that's great. As I said, I picked up a bureau here the other day. I've picked up different things. You know, I don't like to pick up a ton of stuff because I don't want a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
But if you look at the stuff, you might find something that you've been looking for.
Yeah.
Like we have this guy just went by and he just picked up a whole fencing system. We've got fencing here. We've got, I feel like we've got a deal for you. But we really do. I mean, like there's a lot of stuff here that people can reuse, and why not? Because it didn't cost you anything.
Exactly, and we're not paying to dispose of it.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So that makes sense. Now in the background we have couches and furniture. And what happens with those? You don't just want to burn those?
No, that's illegal.
Remember that, it's illegal.
So like some of the sleeper couches that have the pull-out beds and everything, we'll take those, set them over here for a while, and then we'll bring them out back and we'll strip all the metal out of them.
Do you think that people are going to take them?
No, typically people won't take any of the furniture like that. We try and strip out as much of the metal as we can, cut down some of the costs and make a little bit off it. And same thing with mattresses. If we can, we'll pull the springs out. If not, it just ends up solid waste.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's whether we have the time or the means to be able to do that.
Yeah. And now in the back here, you've got cement blocks and stuff like that. I mean, how do you separate things back here? Because I see a pile, but it looks like it's got like porcelain in it too, like toilets and things like that?
That's a just straight rubble pile.
Rubble, okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you're not going to get anything from that. You're just going to, what would you do with that pile?
We can pay to get rid of it. We can get it ground up, get the metal taken out, and possibly use it as pack or fill through here or for highway use. And that would fall back to a savings to them where they wouldn't have to buy gravel for...
Like it could be fill.
Exactly, yeah.
And like if somebody, has anybody ever come here saying, I want to fill in a hole and...
Not since I've been here.
Not since you've been here, no.
But they have some of the pavement regrind that they did, and it's better than regular fill.
Really?
Packs right in, yeah.
nice
It's great stuff, beautiful.
And if people are getting rid of logs,
we have
they can bring logs down here
pile.
too. Do you charge for those things that are back there?
Yes, typically not as much, just because it's something that we don't really handle that often. And the reason we have a stump pile is because our permit only allows us to burn wood that's 5 inches and under.
Seriously?
Yep, that's part of our permit.
Wow.
And that falls back to they don't want it smoldering forever
Right.
or taking too long to burn,
Yep.
or it'll actually kill the rest of the fire because it's working so hard to burn that log.
So you don't have somebody that's going to cut it up into
No.
5 inches?
Nope.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
So Josh, let me back up a little bit. You're Josh.
Yes.
And you've been here for 5 years?
5 years full time.
5 years
8 total.
Really? So
Yep.
you were here before when Dave was here?
Yep, I was
Okay.
part-time, yep.
Yep. So did you think that you might be interested in running the recycling center back then?
I thought about it, but again, I was so young and I was more of working another full-time job and then come here and do it part-time, and they actually had the opening for assistant. That's what sparked my interest, and here I am today.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Now, did you go into training? Did you go anywhere for like any classes or anything like that, or did you learn on the job?
A little bit of both. Every year you need 2.5 hours of training to recertify yourself through the state. And it goes at a point system, so you can go from an assistant operator all the way to senior operator level 5. Step 5, I should say.
Yeah.
It used to be levels, but they changed it to steps now. So
Yeah. Well, I have to say that I really enjoy you know, talking with your staff. Everybody is so helpful.
Yep.
It's really great. We have a couple more places to look, and then I think the tour will be finished.
Yep.
Okay. So Josh, you have some information here on sharps, on mercury disposal, on used filters and oils.
Yep.
This is great.
Yep.
So if you have questions on this kind of stuff, and flushables, what is that all about?
That's what not to flush down the toilet: chemicals, greases.
Diapers.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff you don't want down in there.
Yeah, but if it's gone, I don't have to worry about it.
Until it does come back.
Right,
That's
right.
the thing.
There's a lot of things that are out there that say flushable too, like liners, like diaper liners,
Yep.
they say, are supposed to be flushable, but they're really
No.
not flushable. So,
No.
yeah, come and ask the experts. So that you've got some pamphlets here. Now you've got aluminum, you've got plastic bottles, you've got paper, corrugated cardboard.
Yep.
What happens if somebody puts it in the wrong place?
That's the good thing about this is our trays, they're low level, so you can
Yeah.
just throw it over on the inside and
Right. So
makes
there's
it a little
people
easier.
on the inside in here
Yes.
that will go through everything.
Yep. Typically on a regular week, we'll do about 2 to 3 people at the sorting windows, and then on busy Saturdays in the summer, we can have up to 6, 7 people here at a time, and even then, it's still busy all day long.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like it's getting busy here now.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll go over to the cans, and then we'll hit the glass
Yep.
and go to the battery shed, and we'll get a little bit more of a tour.
Yep.
Okay. So here we are over at the aluminum and the cans, and it looks like a really good setup here.
Yep.
So what you do is everybody comes in, they give you the cans here. They actually have a snow rake that they push all the cans up and into the big dumpster, and then they can send them for the recycling or
Yes.
whatever.
And this is one of the spots where the residents are actually doing the work for us and helping us out by, they come over here, they'll sort it out, dump it, and then a staff member will come out, push this up, check for any aluminum, anything like that.
So this is supposed to be
Just steel cans.
just steel
Yep,
cans.
Yep.
Okay. And the aluminum cans, those are totally different.
Yep.
Do you have like a magnet or something that they can check on them or something?
We
or-
did have one right here.
But that's
yeah,
how you could tech.
typically, yeah.
So
Yep.
if they stick, it's steel?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And
if they
typically
don't-
it's all food, dog
Uh-huh.
food cans. You're gonna see all the aluminum's gonna be cat cans, basically. Yeah. And that's really the only ones you'll ever see.
Huh, okay. And I see you've got metal hangers. Like anybody uses metal hangers anymore?
Yeah, I know. It's
But-
crazy.
Yeah, but those can go in there too.
Yep.
You've got covers. So there's covers are okay too?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Anything
so
steel can go
it's
in
not like a bottle, a glass bottle, where you have to take the covers off.
No. No.
On these, the steel is steel, and it's not going to be steel and
Yeah.
aluminum. It's
Yep.
going to be all steel if it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we get about a 2% contamination rate, so some of the plastic on here, they don't factor that in. It gets all ground up and then baled and then
Okay.
shipped to another plant.
Okay. And so how much can you bring in for revenue on your steel cans?
Not a whole lot how it is right now, loose like this. We get about $100 to $150 per container, which isn't a whole lot,
Right.
but
you're not
it's
paying
loose.
for it.
Exactly.
Right.
And each container weighs about 3,500 to 4,000 pounds, 2 tons. But if we were able to bale these just with the balers we have, it doesn't work that way.
Right.
if we were able to bale them, we could get up to $30, $35 a ton.
What would you need to do to be able to bale them?
Currently we have vertical balers in there, so they're about chest high, so you'd have to dump each thing of steel cans in there. But then the horizontal balers, you can actually drop it on the floor, put it in the conveyor, and it'll bale it all itself.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Those probably cost money.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So you've got to really look at what's going to be
the options. Yeah.
Right. What's feasible for everybody. Okay. Let's look at the glass next.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So here we are at the glass. Now, are there different kinds of glass that we have to separate, or does all the glass go in one place?
Currently, it all goes in one place. Storage reasons, we haven't been able to separate it out, but we could do green, brown, clear glass. And two of them you have to pay, I think it's $5 a ton to dispose of, but I believe it's the brown glass, you can actually make money off it. It'll go towards different applications. Everywhere is different. Some will do fiberglass, some will do insulation with it, or new glass bottles.
Have you ever thought about making your own sea glass?
I haven't.
Because what I've seen is what they do is they break it all up, right? I don't know what kind of machine it is that breaks it all up.
We've got one out back.
Yeah. But if you just started rolling it around, you could sell it as sea glass and nobody would ever know.
Yep. And the glass we have right now, it's processed glass aggregate, PGA.
Yeah.
You can pick it up in your hands, roll it around, you're not going to cut yourself.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Because I often wondered that, because when you see the pile of glass that they have, you know, it makes you wonder, like, is it sharp? I don't know. But that's good to know. Yeah. So what are you doing with it right now?
Currently we're just sitting on it right now, waiting to see where the market heads.
Right.
But a good chunk of it we do pick out deposits, the 5-cent deposits that go to Vermont.
Oh.
And we make about 25 to 30 grand a year on just deposits between glass, aluminum, and plastic bottles.
So you guys are really on top of this.
Yes.
So this is what recycling is all about, and this is where it's come to. I mean, like, if you're going to recycle, which is doing something great for the earth and for your environment and your community, now you can make some money off from it and bring more revenue back in, so it's a win-win.
Exactly, and this is where the residents, how they help us out by sorting stuff out, either side, back there, out back, just with all the work they do before they even bring it here, taking the caps off, cleaning it, and then just dumping it in there. And some residents will even go and take the 5 centers and put it in a box ready to roll for us.
That's nice. Yeah.
So it just helps us out quite a bit.
That's excellent.
Yep.
Now, I also noticed that you guys take books and clothing. So you have those the drop boxes here. So really, anything that you want to dispose of, you can pretty much find a place for it here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Pretty much the only thing we don't accept is hazardous waste.
Right.
Yep.
Now, do you have a special time during the year that hazardous waste is taken in, or are you considering paint not hazardous waste? Like, how do you get rid of something that you would consider hazardous waste?
The only thing, paint is latex isn't hazardous. That can be dried up and then thrown into the compactor. Any oil-based, enamels, epoxies, anything like that. And typically anything with, it could be pesticides, cleaning chemicals, anything with warning, caution, hazardous, anything like that isn't allowed here, and it would have to go to Keene.
Okay.
And they hold,
Keene has a special day, or do they collect it all the time?
They hold 12 days in the fall and then 12 days in the spring and summer. So 24 days total. And you can bring up to 10 gallons for free, as long as you're a Swanzey resident, because it's part of our built-in budget to pay for that.
Right.
And it's really, really a good thing, because they have a chemist on site. They'll make sure everything's safe, check everything, and then off your hands, and it's going to the right place.
Yeah, and you're being responsible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because if you're letting that stuff go into your yard or into the water system, there could be problems.
Major problems. Yes.
Yeah. So keep that in mind. All right, let's continue on.
Yes.
Okay. So here we have the batteries, and there's several different kinds of batteries. Do you have to differentiate, or do you have to pay for your batteries when you drop them off? What do you have to do here?
Nope, there's no drop-off fees for these. Typically we'll have people just put the batteries right into here, and then we'll sort them at the end of the day, get rid of the lithium ions, any cell phone, laptop batteries, because those are the high hazard ones. Any damage to those, they have the potential to blow up, cause a fire. And they actually have kits through the Northeast Resource Recovery to prevent that, where it's a bucket basically with a neutralizing sand thing. And so that's a big thing, and especially shipping wise, any of the batteries we have to send through ground. It can't be an air delivery.
Yeah, you would not have something blow up.
Exactly.
I mean, you don't want to have anything blow up anyway, but
yes,
not in the sky. Okay, and then the other batteries, again, do you have to pay for them? They don't have to pay anything for them?
Nope, just drop them off.
Because I've seen other places that you have to pay for them.
Yeah, yep.
But you don't have to here.
Nope.
Remember that. You don't have to pay to get rid of your batteries.
And they're properly disposed of here.
Exactly.
Yep.
Okay, we've got more to see.
Yes.
So let's go. Josh, I have to tell you, before you were here, the rules were a little bit different.
Yes.
And I used to go picking, and I loved the metal pile.
Yep, yep.
That is where we used some of the flashing for our chicken coop.
Yep.
We also got a few more things. We have a runner on one of our sheds that we use that we got from the metal. We have, it wasn't years and years that I did this, but I just loved going there.
Yeah.
We have a container that we use for feeding our chickens. Somebody had tossed a container, you know, like the feeders, and yeah, it doesn't work great, but it works. So instead of me spending 20 bucks to go and get one, I was able to get one free. Now I know that you don't do that anymore.
Gave it another life.
But I understand why.
Yeah.
And so when people stop by to drop things off, can they just drive through?
No, we like to inspect every load, even if it's just compost. We like to be able to see if there's sticks in there, whether or not they should be going in the burn pit, or if they're tiny ones that will break down with the rest of the compost. Sorry, I just spaced it.
That's okay. But you know what? What you do is you get to talk with one of your associates.
Yes.
I don't know what you call them here, but you get to talk with somebody and build a relationship. So it's about community too.
Oh,
so
definitely.
Everybody here is working together, and it either goes out or it comes in, but we're making the best of whatever we can do here at the Swanzey Recycling Center. All right, let's look at the grass. Excuse me. Okay, let's look at the glass crusher and see what we're doing over there.
Yep.
This is called the glass crusher?
Yes.
Does it have another name like the monster or?
No. But basically it's a...
It wants to be fed though.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Basically it's a hammer mill, so it has a set of 12 teeth that spin around constantly as it's conveyored up, and it breaks the glass down, drops to the chute where it'll go through a spinning drum that separates the 3/8 minus will pop out this side, and that is DOT grade, so that can be used under roadways, sidewalks, as long as there's no labels and it's 3/8 minus. And then on the other end it'll spit out all the labels and the bigger chunks of glass that we can bring back around, throw it up in, and then hopefully get a little bit more of 3/8 minus on it.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But again, there's so many things that you can recycle. And being here at the Swanzey Recycling Center, you know that like sky's the limit.
Exactly.
Gosh, this is wonderful.
It never ends.
Let's just look at what everything starts as, because you've got glass bottles, and then this stuff is all your plastics. You've got a pile of crushed glass. Now, what measurement would that be?
That's 3/8 minus.
Okay, so that's what you can get rid of for like walkways?
Sidewalks, roadbeds, And
I don't know that I've ever seen it. Do they crush it smaller or something, or what do they do?
3/8 minus, that's all you need, yeah.
It's kind of pretty.
And there are a lot of towns that use it as the road base, so you're saving thousands and thousands.
And you're not going to ruin your tires?
Nope, because they pave right over it and basically
so this is the base.
Yeah, it gives it some drainage underneath, and you don't have to worry about
So it's kind of like the fill.
Yeah, basically.
I see. Yeah. And if you want to make some mosaic artwork, they've got some plates here and all kinds of stuff to look through too. So you never know. One man's art is another man, or trash is another man's treasure.
Exactly.
Yes? Yeah. So we've seen a lot here today. Josh, is there anything else that you can think of that you might want to tell our viewing audience?
One of our big things we've been trying to do is upcycling. So that's kind of starting the process before it even gets to here. So if you have an old lamp, a lawnmower, stuff of that sort, you can use an old lamp, take basically the guts out of it, and put it into a new lamp, and bingo. Or find a lamp here, or wood, you can make crafts out of it, the glass. I've seen somebody make a epoxy coaster with crushed glass in it.
Right.
So you get the glass, but then it's got another life.
Right. So, it's just a matter of being educated.
Creative.
Being creative, yes. And, like knowing what you can do with different things.
Yeah.
And you know, like we are in such a throwaway society right now. And I mean, you know of all people that, you know, people just, they buy it and they toss it and they buy it and they toss it. Like so many things that we've seen that could be kept go into the trash.
Exactly.
Or they don't go into the swap pile. And, you know, like they don't want a bunch of junk in the swap pile, but there's a lot of stuff that people just don't need
Could be
anymore.
used,
Or,
yep.
you know, somebody passed on and they had to clean out a house. Or you have a summer camp and you decide that you want to change everything for some reason. You know, you can bring it here and there's a good chance that somebody else might be able to use it.
Yes, yep.
Or you'll find something that needs to be done with it if it doesn't get taken. Yeah.
Yep.
So thank you very much today for
thank
talking
you.
with me. And I encourage you, if you're a Swanzey resident, to come down. Now, do they have to have tags on their cars or anything like that? I don't remember.
Yes, you do need a green permit.
And you get the green permit from the town hall?
You can get it when you register your vehicle, or we can do it here with your registration.
And is there a cost for that?
Nope, free of charge.
Seriously, free of charge.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you do it?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and it's a lot of fun. So thank you, Josh.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming. And we'll see you again down at the Swanzey Recycling Center, not the four-letter word.
Yes.
We'll see you soon.